I had a revelatory experience the other day. It was with Ace's owner. Ace is the Pit Roddy mix that I just trained, and he's awesome. He's a lot like the guy I have now, big boy, who's kind of maybe a slightly lighter version. They're basically the same dog, and I've dealt with a million dogs like that. Ace was more leash reactive. This guy has like defensive territorial aggression. He's just shy with strangers, really, but he'll bite the shit out of them if he's just insecure. Both of them are the same dog, manifests itself slightly differently. Anyway, Ace's owner, she has a horrible lobby. I mean, ergonomically, it is a fucking nightmare. And there's like these tight elevators in it, everything, so it's tough. I mean, it's challenging, and he's used to lunging with her. And so I've worked a lot with her one-on-one. He's great with me in that. I've worked him in that lobby a bunch of times. He's great, but I said, look, let's just... Actually, I don't think they had a choice before he got into training. He's got to be on a muzzle in the lobby anywhere, or else they're going to get in trouble in the building. But it's fine, good. So we got a muzzle on in the lobby, but she's still nervous, right? Because what it is embarrassing. It's socially embarrassing if he lunges. And when you have a relational dynamic with the owner, where the dog, they'll do this thing a lot, not a lot, but a fair amount of the time, you'll see this thing where like the dogs will be perfect with you as the trainer, and with the owner, it's a different ball game, right? They're way more reactive. They're a different dog, and it's a lot of it's a conditioning response, responding to the owner's energy. A lot of it's just leash handling skills. So that means more follow-up with the owners typically. I want to send them all out so that they're on autopilot, but they're not fucking computers. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta, and that's why I probably excessively, to the point of coddling, kind of baby my clients, as long as they let me stick around. They're not like, all right, he's the cable guy, get him out of here. It's because I want to see people through. So Colleen needs help, because he picks on her a little bit. See that with male dogs and female owners a lot. So we're in the lobby working. And I noticed something, because every time I'm with Ace down there, as soon as his ears go forward, I don't wait for him to fuck up. I get there early with corrections. I'm like, nope, just get him re-engaged. Let's go, buddy, let's go. And don't knock the camera over, idiot. So I get there early with that stuff, and I'm just letting him know, I'm just reminding him it's low-end corrections, like a fair amount of e-collar in those tight spaces too. E-collar work helps at low levels, and that's what we've been working on. She's late all the time. And I'm like, Jesus, she's not timing this correctly. So I stepped back and I watched her for a second. I didn't look at the dog, because a lot of times I know she's missing the dog. So I'm looking at the dog and be like, let's go. You gotta let him know so nothing bad happens. By the time I said, well, he fucks up. I'm gonna watch her. I watched her. She's like, she can't see the dog. It's like they're not even present together. They're both, but they're also kind of tied to one another in this very unhealthy, toxic kind of way. She can't read his body language. It's not because she's not an animal person. She may or may not be, but that has nothing to do with it. She's fucking petrified of the situation. And after I realized this, well, I mean, I knew it from the get-go, but I didn't see that aspect of it, where she literally cannot read her dog because she's just so reactive and in the moment that she can't process as she's participating, just like the dog. She's borderline panicked. Okay, don't knock the fucking camera over. So I'm not gonna panic with you, but I will do something horrible. No, I'm kidding. I love you. So anyway, they're doing the same thing to each other. She's reacting, and so is he, and they're feeding off each other's energy, and they're not even looking at each other. Totally disengaged from one another, and yet tied at the hip. And in this vicious sort of cycle, exchanging that negative energy. And it was, and a light bulb went off in my head. I'm like, geez, you're like a fucking male asshole. How could you not see that? She's, she's a small girl. She's got a big bruiser of a dog, and he acts like a psycho. And she's like, she's like, Beaker. And I got that, but I didn't see that she just couldn't read him because she was too scared. And I think that happens with a lot of female owners with big dogs. Imagine if a 110-pound woman owned a dog like Dewey who was crazy. And that was young me and Elvis. When I got her Elvis 11 years ago, whatever, she was fucking scared. She couldn't read him. She was too in the moment. And to understand what was going on, she just, I don't want that bad thing to happen. And they get in this sort of toxic codependency starts forming, similar to like an abusive relationship. But the main thing is, if you're a single woman or just a woman with a large dog that you have to handle at least half the time, who's aggressive, and you're scared, be aware of the fact that you're probably not seeing what's going on with the dog. You're just scared of him. You're like he's a psycho. And this is relevant too to Big Boy's owner right now. Heather, she made a comment under one of his YouTube videos. She's like, yeah, he's kind of like an enigma, or I forget the word she used. And I'm like, no, he's very simple. He's just a big, dumb, stupid dog. And when he gets scared, he can be a psycho, or he's defensive in nature. He's insecure. But since calling, it just occurred to me why that. I think there may be a gender thing involved here, where there's a reduced capacity to read the dog. Because even if a guy is scared, right, or nervous, he can bully the dog a little bit because he's bigger. So he knows he can rely on that. So he may not be seeing what's going on with the dog too. It's not as important to him though, all right? Whereas the dog knows, at least to some degree, that he's stronger than the woman. He can bully her a little bit. So they just have this weird fucking dynamic, and a lot of it is predicated upon misunderstanding of one another. So I want single woman out there to understand that if you got a scary dog, I don't blame you. You should be scared, but there are tools out there to empower you, and you can do it. And don't be scared to look at the dog and think about, all right, what's driving him? And this isn't about, and try to do it objectively. It's very hard to detach yourself emotionally, especially if you don't have a ton of knowledge about this stuff. But understand that there's an insecure dynamic in flow of energy, interchange of energy back and forth between you guys that's exacerbating the situation probably. And you're not going to be able to solve that on your own. But you probably have a reduced capacity to read your dog and understand them. And that will come with time, so don't feel bad. But anyway, it was a very enlightening experience, and I kind of feel like a different, that should be perfectly obvious, but it just totally wasn't to me. The part about her not, she was just blind to him. It was cool. So it's always the challenging situations that kind of keep this, because this job can be a little monotonous at times, and to stay intellectually engaged, I like these tougher situations, whether it's a environmental thing, so we get the lobby, that's tough. And then, like Teddy Boy, it's hard. And that's how you stay engaged as a trainer, and you actually grow too. So there was a very growth-inducing experience. So thank you, Colleen. And just see him. Watch those ears. Watch that brow. That's when you let him know, okay? But take a breath first, all right? Like I told you, muzzle his ass, so you keep reminding yourself he can't do anything bad. It's just going to be embarrassing, but get there early and it won't be. And that's how you'll start to improve your skills, through practice, deliberate practice. So keep up the good work, Colleen, and thanks for the lesson from you and Ace.